Swap. What's yours is mine, what's mine is ours. You know just what to say to take a girl's breath away.
Let me sing. dad?
Nope.
It's beautiful. I had to eat 6 boxes of Cracker Jacks to find it. It's a symbol of my undying affliction for you. I love diamonds.
I've been looking too hard, I've been waiting too long. Sometimes I don't know what I will find. I only know it feels so right, so warm and true. I need to know if you feel it too. Maybe I'm wrong, won't you tell me if I did? For a girl like you to come into my life, I've been waiting for a girl like you. I've been waiting.
Ironic. She dressed in white today, too. Very nice. I hope you're gonna have a longer dress on
Yeah.
on the day of the wedding. So it'll be quite a sight coming down the stairs.
Oh, I can see at this point right here looking at everybody, I'm wondering. I feel myself getting lost just thinking. Yeah.
But it's worth about $400 to $500.
Can you imagine? Okay.
This is referred to as the fly swatter egg beater, but it's actually known as the Express. It's from 1887. One recently went at auction for $2,000, but it's actually worth between $500 and $600.
Okay, what's on the floor?
These are
Coat hangers?
spectacular. This is a wire sculpture of an American eagle.
Now, is that
Actually-
impressive?
Actually, it's a coat hanger.
Now, this is what's your name?
Dana Hawks.
Dana, and you're from Sotheby's?
Sotheby's.
And you're going, wow.
Yeah, I am going, wow.
That's a big deal.
I mean, this is a beautiful
It is
wire
a big deal.
sculpture.
I mean, it looks exactly. I wouldn't even interpret it as a. I assume it's a coat hanger or
It's a
dress-
coat hanger, and I paid $5 for it in Atlanta and was immediately offered $85 for it.
Now, what you've done with this, Linda, I mean, you're not only I mean, you've written a book on this, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll talk about that a little later on. Look at that.
Here's another wonderful
Kitchen
movements.
Collectibles. That's your book.
Yep.
You seem very excited about your book, Linda.
I hate to sell my book on
Talk up your
television.
book, Linda. This is national television. Millions of people are out there.
It's a wonderful book.
Okay,
It's
fine, that's
650
enough.
pages.
Okay, fine, that's enough. All right, thank you very much, Linda. So, now,
Yeah, they are.
let me tell you why I like our next guest. I love his name. His name is Pryor Dodge. What a name. I mean, that's a name of authority. That's a name of establishment. I mean, that name has got to be around this country for hundreds of years, right, Pryor?
That's true.
I bet. See, I just guessed that. What's your hobby, which has now become a profession?
I collect the history of the bicycle.
The bicycle.
The bicycle.
My Schwinn bike from 1947 or 8. Is that worth a lot of money?
It's becoming, yeah. In fact, there was an article recently in the Times about Schwinn Black Phantoms going for several thousands of dollars.
Okay. What's the oldest bike you have?
Well, the history of the bicycle begins around the 1860s, although before they had what was called running machines because they didn't have pedals. So I have some running machines from around the 1830s, but the bicycles that I have begin around 1868.
And did the bicycle start in this country?
No, actually it began in France. The running machine began in Germany and the bicycle began in France. They were called velocipedes.
And what would the first bike of the 1860s look like?
Actually, it looks a bit like what you see on this plate here.
Oh, really?
Yes, there's a woman riding a velocipede.
With a parasol and everything?
That's right. I don't know if she would have had that at the time. In fact, most women didn't ride at the time, but they had wagon wheels. They were all wooden wheels, very light wagon
Now,
wheels.
that bike looks like the front wheel is slightly larger than the back.
Very slightly, yes.
But now over here, what do we have?
This is called a high wheel bicycle. Often it's called a penny farthing. And it has such a large wheel because with one revolution of the pedals, you have one revolution of the wheels. So you can
Now, is
go
this
farther.
rubber?
Solid rubber, solid tires.
And give me a date for this.
It's about 1887. It's English.
And how much is it worth?
Oh, $3,000 to $5,000.
Well, that's not bad. Can I get on it?
Would you like to?
Yeah, why not?
Sure. Why don't you step up here?
I mean, can you get on it?
Of course, yes.
I mean, I didn't say I was going to ride this
No,
thing.
but you'll
I mean, is it easy to ride?
once you get on it, yes.
That's very good, Pryor. How do I get on it?
Just put your hand on my shoulder here.
I have to... Yeah?
There you go. There
Okay.
you go.
Okay.
Put your hand on the handlebar.
Very good. Now, Pryor, thank you. Now, Pryor, how many bikes do you have?
I have about 125, but I also have part of my collection. One of the most important parts is the artwork, prints, posters, and all kinds of objects like the chinaware you see here. So it's the social history besides being the evolution of a machine itself, which was, in fact, it led to the automobile. And the Wright brothers, by the way, were in the bicycle business before getting
I knew
into
that.
flying.
I had read
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Now, you just don't keep them. I mean, you display them, and now I think one of your collection is on display at Payne Weber, right?
That's right. That's 6th Avenue and 51st Street. I've had exhibitions around the United States, out to Hawaii, and other museums around the country. I tour it to museums, so I share it with the public.
Well, that's great. Pryor Dodge is here. When we come back, we're going to all go on vacation. You buy postcards. Everybody buys postcards, right? Well, coming up, we're going to meet a woman who bought a postcard for $2. Now it's worth over $1,000. And of course, we all remember the game Monopoly. Pass, go, collect 200. Wait until you find out how much the old Monopoly game is worth today. We'll be back right after this.
Every once in a while, there comes a stain so incredible, so complex, so hideous. You may need extra help getting it out. Introducing Whisk Away Pre-Treat with Penetron, the tough stain-fighting formula that penetrates deep into stains fast. Don't risk it, whisk it. New Whisk Away Pre-Treat.
In the future, there will be an antiperspirant with such strength it delivers the ultimate dryness protection for any man alive. Only it will be for a woman. Well, the future is now. Secret Ultra Dry, a revolutionary pH balance form. State of the art. Goes on dry, vanishes to keep you drier than any other type. Look into the future. Look into Secret Ultra Dry. Strong enough for a man, but with ultra dryness for a woman.
Certs has a great mint taste, plus a sparkling drop of Redson to freshen your breath. Only Certs is 2 mints in one.
It's back, the painful burn of acid indigestion. You need powerful relief. Rolaids can absorb 47% more acid than regular Tums. Put the fire out fast. Rolaids spells relief.
Okay, Stevie, time to get out.
Young Stevie is about to discover a whole new bath tissue. New Charmin Ultra. The softest and stronger than ever. It's as soft as facial tissue, but now it's the strongest one, too. Even under these wet conditions, new Charmin Ultra beats the competition. It's the new bath tissue that's the perfect combination of softness and strength. New Charmin Ultra. The softest thing next to your skin. The strongest it's ever been.
Stevie, time for bed.
Who knows what's happening?
Fergie and Andrew, they may be divorced, but these blue bloods are still red hot for each other.
Prince Andrew was flirting outrageously.
On the next extra, the true confessions behind this royal attraction. Then, have aliens landed in New York? Get one woman's frightening account of what really happened. While the other shows are on vacation, we're still hard at work. Extra, new shows, fresh stories all year long.
Extra, tonight at 7 on WBTV News Channel 3.
Their marriage wasn't supposed to be like this.
He wants to act like a little kid. He doesn't want to be a father. He doesn't want to be a husband.
Now, these men and women have one last chance to save their relationships on the next Maury. Well, we know it's the season for garage sales, and before you decide to get rid of anything, you may want to check if it's more valuable than you think. Now, David Galt says he likes to collect old games, and he brought a few of them with him. What's that in front of you?
In front of me is a Monopoly game, which is actually kind of a special version of the game.
Where did you find that?
I got it at a flea market complex, kind of, that's here in New York City, open for several years. There are about 400 dealers in
Now, wait a
the middle of
second. So you
Manhattan.
just walked in there and you saw that Monopoly set?
Walked into a little lot.
And you thought,
it was
did
about
you think
12
it was
o'clock, late in the day for antique shopping.
Right.
And I said, that looks like a nice old Monopoly. Anyway, I'll take a look at it. So I looked at it. I noticed that there's nothing marked on the box at all. So it's a plain box. And then when I looked inside, I found this, which is the rules, kind of cut out from the box with Charles Darrow's name on it. He is the one who popularized Monopoly, and eventually Parker Brothers helped him because it was so popular.
And what year was all that?
This was 1934.
That was the first year of
green,
Monopoly?
as you see, with...
Why is everybody going, wow? Because that's not the way Monopoly looks today?
Monopoly is mostly white these days.
Really?
It has no prices in the corners. You may notice that Mediterranean and Baltic are a bright red instead of purple.
Right.
The D
There is
cards...
Oriental, Vermont, Connecticut, and then you go to the reds, right? Then you go to the purples, right?
Well,
then
they
you go to
changed a little
St.
bit.
Charles.
They're
You think
pink.
I knew every single one of these things?
They're pink in this edition, though.
But I thought they were purple.
They are when Monopoly was later put out by Parker Brothers. In this original edition, the different deed cards are a whole solid color each, instead of having the little band across.
Right.
They're just blank on the back.
Wow.
So each Monopoly is a separate color.
I mean, did you know you had something there?
I knew right away. I knew
Yeah,
what it was,
and what did the guy
from
want for it?
Well, they said that they had been asking 50, but they thought they would take 25 on it. So they already did any bargaining. I wasn't going to do any bargaining anyway.
So you gave him 25 bucks?
I gave him 25 bucks. I said, it looks like a nice set. Let me just
What's it worth?
Well, one similar to this, probably not in as good condition, sold for $4,000 at auction about 4 or 5 years ago. So that's quite a nice find, and something you can just find here in New York City.
Now you brought all these games. You collect games.
Yes. And I'm also someone who does work in game design. So it's something that I have as a professional interest.
Terrific. Well, and
is
that your most expensive game, the Monopoly set?
This is probably the game I have that's worth about the most.
Right.
The baseball game here
Yeah,
by
this old
McLaughlin.
baseball. How old is that?
This is from 1886.
Wow.
Worth in the neighborhood of $2,500 to $3,000. It depends how people feel. I don't know how much the Mickey Mantle is worth. That's probably worth a little
more
bundle
now
too, but it doesn't have the little record that came with it. So if anyone has a
You mean the Beatles even had a game? Flip your wig game?
Just about everything.
The Beatles had a game?
The Beatles, the Monkees.
My gosh.
The Archies.
Okay, let's find out about Ellie's games. Ellie?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What did you do?
I bought a postcard for $2 at Lambertville Flea Market, New Jersey.
Right. And why did you buy the postcard?
I bought the postcard because I've been discussing with a customer what the mafia dressed like.
What the mafia dressed like?
Yeah, with their double-breasted suits and their diamonds on their fingers and their canes and their hamburgers. And I found this card for $2.
And
I
it had all that?
Showed it to a customer, and he said, it looks just like him. And I said, it looks just like who? And he
Al
says,
Capone.
Enrico Caruso.
Oh, Caruso. You thought Caruso was a mafia guy?
I said, dressed like one.
Okay.
So he has had the postcard made for him specifically in Italy and mailed it to his music professor in Manhattan. And when my customer told me it was him, I said, I have a customer for musical postcards, so I'll probably get $8 or $10 for it. And I only have $2 invested. So I forgot about it. I put it on the counter, and I'm talking on the telephone about 6 weeks later, and for some reason the postcard's upside down now. And I look, and I see it's written in Italian, but I look on the bottom, and I said, son of a gun, that doesn't look like Enrico Caruso's signature on it. So I went into the library, and they transposed what it said in Italian, and he had sent a postcard to his music professor thanking him for sending a student to him in Italy, and he had the picture taken of him in the piazza, sharp postmark on the back.
And do you still have this postcard?
Yes.
And what is it worth?
I wrote to the largest autograph collector in the country, who's in California, and he offered me $1,000 for it.
$1,000?
Yeah.
It's worth $1,000. David Bausch started his hobby in 1948. David, what do you collect?
Well, I collect anything dealing with the automobile, basically.
These are all ornaments?
These are all ornaments. I understand you have a tree now that you...
I do. I have a tree.
Expensive ornaments on it.
Yeah, I have no idea. I got a bicycle, though. I do. I have a bicycle on that tree. But, so you got all these transportation ornaments.
Right.
And that's your hobby?
That's my hobby.
And your trees are only up during the Christmas
No, I have
season?
one tree up all the time.
You have a tree up the whole time?
All the time.
A real tree?
A real tree. Well, no, not a real tree. An artificial tree. But I put 4 other trees up at Christmas time.
With all your transportation ornaments?
Right.
And how many ornaments would you say you had?
About 3,000.
3,000? Have you ever figured out what it's all worth?
No, because...
You know what your most expensive ornament is?
Well, this Tunaville trolley is about $1,000.
Wow.
And that's sold for about 25 cents.
Now, can you get ornaments at garage sales?
Yes.
Flea markets?
In fact, some of them, like the lights, I got those in box lots. And they'd sell for maybe $5 or $6. And what's unusual, this one here is celluloid. And it's before the electrification, rural electrification, they would illuminate the tree with a battery. But what they did was they plugged these in regular outlets, and of course they started fires. So these are very, very scarce. And these are glass, And this,
Yeah.
of course, is an automobile with Santa Claus in it, and
That's great.
this is about $500.
Terrific. When we come back, we're going to meet a man who can help you find the pot of gold that you've been looking for. And it might be where you least expect it after this.
A promotional fee has been provided by
Alpha Hydrox Body Wash cleans, moisturizes, and exfoliates, leaving your skin remarkably soft and smooth. Alpha Hydrox Body Wash.
As a receptionist here, I can tell you that in this office, if you haven't been using the right toothpaste, the dentist lets you know it. Wrong toothpaste? When he goes like this, it means you've got a tartar problem. But this means you've been doing what he told you, brushing with Crest Tartar Control. You see, tartar forms, especially at the gum line, and regular toothpaste can't block tartar. But Crest has patented tartar blockers that help keep tartar from forming, preventing tartar buildup by 1/3. And when it comes to their own teeth, more dentists brush with Crest Tartar Control than any other toothpaste. How'd it go?
The dentist's choice is Crest Protection. It's unfair to set easy goals for our kids because succeeding in the real world isn't easy. Help the effort to raise standards in America's public schools. Call 1-800-96-PROMISE.
Out of the box, knocking your socks off. A taste that nothing compares to. Pick it up, take it, we just baked it. We just baked it for you.
Since Entenmann's Bakery really is a bakery, everything tastes that way. Rich chocolate, real fruit, really good. That's the Entenmann's way.
Why not grab 10 or 2? Sure tastes like the best thing to do. Pick it up, take it, we just baked it. We just baked it.
Only Entenmann's.
We just baked it.
This beautiful home is the newest of the 17 model homes at First Value in Gastonia. First Value is a licensed home builder delivering far more home for your money because an efficient factory assembles most of your home. Call for a free information package to learn about our superior 2x6 wall construction and our affordable mortgage company. With the First Value building system, your family can afford a larger, better built home than you dreamed possible. If you're going to build a home, you must come see First Value Homes on East Franklin in Gastonia.
Quality beef, no fillers, and still the most wished-for hot dog in America.
We're Oscar Mayer Wiener.
I mean, who knows? You might have something in your house that's worth a fortune. You don't even know it. Now, for instance, didn't you just make a sale?
Yes, I did.
You sold Pryor Dodge something, didn't you?
Yes,
What
a book.
A book on bicycles?
Men's bicycle wands. Was it dated 1901 or?
That's about 1900.
About 1900?
Yes.
How much you pay for it, Pryor?
She asked, well, I offered $20 and she asked $25, so I paid $25.
Now, where did you get that?
In the wall of my house.
Wait a second. And this postcard came from the wall in your house?
Yes.
What are you talking to me about your walls? I
Well,
mean,
my
what's it-
house is over 100 years old, and my husband took down a wall to redo it, and they used this for insulation, actually, I believe.
So in other words, if we have old houses, we start tearing down the walls to find postcards and pamphlets worth 25 bucks. Now, of course, we have to put the walls back up.
Yes.
Oh, that's the problem. Now, Chris Jussel is with us, and he knows about all this stuff because Chris is an antiquarian, and he'll be the host of an upcoming PBS series, Chubb's Antiques Roadshow. So what will you be doing on the road?
Maury, we're going to cities all over America from coast to coast in search of America's hidden treasures.
Is this Bob Vila on the road? I mean, is this what it's all about, this old house or
Well,
something?
they didn't want to call it This Old Stuff, so
right.
we called it Chubb's Antiques Roadshow.
Great.
And we asked people to come into a civic center where we arrive with approximately 40 experts from America's top auction houses, and they will give their opinions on objects that people bring in, free appraisals. for the objects.
So in other words, this is becoming a big deal in this country.
Oh, yes, and we're going to televise the best stories, the most interesting stories, and the great discoveries.
And you're sure that you'll have great discoveries?
Oh, absolutely.
Really? I mean,
absolutely. There's one every week.
What is it like? I mean, I've been to garage sales with my daughter. I've been to flea markets, and I mean, I'm looking around. I see a bunch of junk.
One man's junk is another man's treasure.
Right. So what should we be looking for when we go into places like this?
Very simple. Something that interests you, that you like, and you can afford. Don't go searching for a $1,000 treasure and think you're going to buy it for $100, because it may be worth $2 as well.
As most viewers know, I mean, I love the game of golf, for instance. And about 5 years ago, because I feel myself as a historian and a student of the game and the history and everything else, I started collecting golf memorabilia, and I have a fairly extensive golf collection. Now, I love golf. So what you're saying is people shouldn't get involved in something that they don't like or love.
That's right.
I've had stuff that's been refinished, and it's very old, and it's refinished, and as soon as I take it to an expert, they say, it's refinished, it's not worth as much.
Yeah.
Is that what happens?
You've taken the value and brought it into the 20th century. You've removed all the elements that interest people.
So if people have something old, you shouldn't refinish it?
You shouldn't touch it.
So how do you restore it if you don't refinish it?
You should find out what it is you have and what it's worth before you start fooling around with it.
Now, we've got specialists and experts all over our audience today, and we're going to find out what Frank's sofa's worth. Remember, he paid $150 with it. And also, many of our guests have brought things in. They want to know what it's worth, and we're going to find out for them after this. Do you and your twin live miles apart, but you always know what the other is feeling? If you have a remarkable twin story, call us at 1-800-593-2000. That's 1-800-593-2000.
My name's Jack Holliday. I make a good cup, but I make an even better sandwich. I'd been tracking down Frankie Malone, and all I could think about was Polish ham on soft potato bread, layered with Miracle Whip. The jar was empty. I went for the mayo, but my gut said Bland City, so I borrowed some from Annie. Smart move. A third less fat than mayo and a tangy zip. Nothing makes a sandwich like Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip made my sandwich nice and sassy. Kinda like Annie, but that's a whole nother story.
In your life, you're walking up to circle the earth 4 times. If you've got corns, you'll feel every painful step. That's why there's Dr. Scholl's Advanced Pain Relief Corn Removers. They stop the pain and remove corns fast. Try Dr. Scholl's Corn Removers with Cushland.
These antiperspirants, they're history, because now there's something that keeps you drier. Sure Ultra Dry. It's a better kind of antiperspirant, a soft solid. With just 2 clicks, it goes on dry to keep you ultra dry. Just watch. An ordinary solid can flake off, but Sure Ultra Dry vanishes in to form an invisible layer of protection that keeps you drier than ever before. Prove it to yourself. Sure Ultra Dry goes on dry, keeps you ultra dry.
Does your bra have a time limit? Introducing 18-hour satin and lace with cushioned comfort straps. It's full support that's endlessly comfortable. 18-hour.
Lingerie for real life.
Why do so many people drive to Food Lion? Well, how about 1,100 convenient locations and extra low prices on all of your favorite NASCAR sponsors brands? So hurry to Food Lion and shop in the fast lane.
At Food Lion, you'll find almost everything under the sun. Brand name products, great prices, and easy in and out convenience. And now with most Food Lion stores open 24 hours, you'll find everything under the moon as well.
Food Lion, extra low prices and more.
When you spend a dime, you want their time.
There are men who say if they pay, they expect women to obey.
Why else would I be wasting my time taking her out?
Men talk about what they really want from a date on the next Montel.
Montel Williams, today at 4 on News Channel 3. Today at 5 o'clock on your news channel, a word of caution for parents. If you are signing your child up with a modeling agency, do your homework. We'll have some advice on the modeling industry today at 5 on WBTV News Channel 3. Marriage wasn't supposed to be like this.
You think he's cheated on you?
Yes, I do. He says he hasn't. He wants to act like a little kid. He doesn't want to be a father. He doesn't want to be a husband.
Jason and I both have verbal and physical fights.
Now, these men and women have one last chance to save their relationships.
We are very passionate together.
I love her.
How far will they go to win back the one they love? On the next Maury.
Open up your closet doors and it could be a bounty in there. More than just clothes, you may find treasure. Today we're going to find out from experts if our people out there in our audience who own something, could it be more valuable than you think? We have a number of specialists and appraisers here from the famous auction houses, from Sotheby's, from Christie's, from the William Doyle Galleries, and they looked at some of the things that our audience brought in this morning. So first of all, yeah, they went by and they looked in and all that stuff. All right, now Fred Cacase is here. Now, Fred, stand right up here. You think you have something of value, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yes,
okay. Now, where'd you get this item?
A dear neighbor of mine, 80-year-old man, is retired and looking to clear out his garage. He's had this for 40 years.
Okay. And so he had this thing in the garage?
He had this in the garage, yes.
Right. Now, Pryor, why don't you pull off the wrap here and we'll see exactly what this is. That's a cannon!
Yes. It's from the American Revolution, I'm told.
You're told?
I'm told.
You see, they always say, I'm told. They say that softly, I'm told. Okay. Now, where do you have it now?
It's in my dining room.
Oh, it's in your dining room. You have a wife?
Yeah, I wanted it in the living room, but she wouldn't.
Oh, I would guess so. Well, guess, how's your wife feel about all that?
Well, she wants me to sell it. That's why I'm here.
Okay, I see. Okay, that's fine. Now, to help you do that, Gary Piattoni. Gary, stand right up here. You are from where?
Christie's.
From Christie's. You seen a cannon like that?
Yes, I have.
You have? So this could be your shining moment, Fred. We're going to find out right now. How much is it worth?
I think it's worth around, at auction, $800 to $1,200.
$800 to $1,200, that's it. Are you happy with that?
I'll keep the cannon.
You're going to keep the cannon? Okay, fine. Thank you very much. Now, also, hi, how are you? Good. Nice to see you. You have a doll, right? Mm-hmm. And did you have any idea what that doll's worth?
I didn't when I bought her, but I paid a $1 bill for her.
$1? At
a tag sale in Connecticut. Connecticut, they call them tag sales. Here, they call them yard sales. And she was in a shoebox. I knew she was old.
Why did you think she was old?
Well, I knew she had the china head.
And that means you're old if you're a doll?
Well, it's not a plastic one. Yep.
I have something with a china head. She's not too old.
No.
Now, Dana from Sotheby's. Dana, have you seen that doll?
I did. I saw it a little earlier, and I had my eyes on it because I realized it was an old doll. She's right.
It is old?
Yes,
is the china head, I mean, is that a giveaway?
No, that is a giveaway. What we call it is a bisque head, which is an unglazed porcelain. And the doll dates around turn of the century, 1900. And at auction, we'd probably get, $300 to $400 for it.
Very good. There you go. Congratulations. Very good. Joe, where's Joe? Joe, stand up. You brought some stuff, right?
Yes, I did.
And these are all your statues and things?
Yes.
Eric, where's Eric? Eric, you're from where, Eric?
William Doyle Galleries.
You're from the William Doyle Galleries, and you've seen all this stuff.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so what would you say?
Well, this is a really wonderful French bronze from the turn of the century, yes. It's an Art Nouveau, and it is bronze. It has the artist's signature on the back, and actually has the foundry mark on the back. It's a really wonderful example.
And what is that worth?
Well, it has a condition problem. Somebody tried to clean it and make it bright and shiny.
See? They cleaned it.
Yes. I would think at auction this would bring, $2,000 to $3,000.
Okay, that's okay. All right. How much did you pay? Nothing, nowhere near 2,000. Okay. Anything else of special value?
Well, these are very nice. This is also a bisque. This is a very similar material to that doll over there. It's painted bisque, and it is a Royal Vienna. It was made in Austria, also around the turn of the century. And at auction, something like this would bring $500 to $700.
$500 to $700. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. We'll be back right after this. If we still want to find out if Frank's sofa that he bought for $150 is worth thousands, we're going to find out when we come back right after this.
How
would you like to have a beautiful smile again and be able to enjoy your favorite foods again? You can. Just call Denture Care at 1-800-4OUR-SMILE and enjoy a new smile with our custom-made dentures, partials, or crowns. At Denture Care, the friendly dentist and on-site lab assure you get the look and fit to make you smile. All for about 40% less than you'd expect to pay elsewhere. For dentures, partials, or crowns, call Denture Care. We have lots of ways to make you smile.
This might sound weird, but I kind of like doing dishes.
Happy for you, honey.
I've got a system. My glasses first, then my silverware, then my plates, then my gross, greasy pots and pans, and then I'm talking to myself.
Ultra Dawn is the best at dissolving tough grease. It breaks it up and takes it away.
Feel the dirty glass?
Oh, now you've wrecked my whole system. How can this get clean after doing all the greasy stuff?
It's okay. You're using Dawn. See? Clean.
Hey, now I don't have to come up with a whole new system.
Ultra Dawn, the best at taking tough grease out of your way.
People tell me it must really be nice to have the newsroom all to myself because I get to work so early. Well, actually, when I walk in the door, it's so busy, you'd never know it was the wee hours. That's because news happens all the time. And when it happens, News Channel 3 is there. This morning, we're told that when you want information, it doesn't matter what time it is, does it? It's this simple. When you need news, News Channel 3.
If you're suffering from an injury and need an attorney, there's a simple and straightforward way to find one who will work hard for you. One phone call to the Major Help Center. 1-800-MAJOR-HELP. We will arrange an immediate free consultation with an attorney, one like Greg Herman, who has experience in automobile, motorcycle, or any other kind of injury. Today's law limits the time you have to file your claim, so call now to get the settlement you deserve.
Call 1-800-MAJOR-HELP now. Don't let time run out on you.
I want fresh-smelling laundry every day, but I don't do laundry every day. That's why I changed to Bounce.
Bounce has special time-release freshness that's slowly released. Day after day after day after day.
Everything here smells so fresh. I just washed everything 5 days ago.
Bounce. The freshness stays up to 5 days.
We've got it. You want to find out what all your stuff is worth? We're going to have, yes. Now, you got paintings, right? Yes, now, what paintings, what are these paintings, right? Have you taken a look at all these paintings? Who's our specialist in this? Come right on over here. Alan? And you're from where, Alan?
From Doyle Galleries.
From Doyle? Okay, you've taken a look at these things. Anything worth anything?
The most valuable thing here is actually not a painting, it's a print. It's a lithograph by the Mexican artist Jose Clemente Orozco.
You knew all this?
Yeah, I'm not a print expert, but although I play one on TV. But it's actually it's actually a lithograph by him, and his lithographs have gone up to about $3,000–4,000, depending on the image.
And what do you think this is worth?
I would say a couple $1,000.
There you go. Pretty good. All right. Thank you very much. Now, who's our expert? Eric again. Come on over here, Eric. What is this? Now, how much you think this is worth?
Well, if it's an original, it's supposed to be worth $8,000.
If it's an original, okay. Is that an original?
No, it's not. What it is, it's it's a piece of pressed glass. It's probably from the 1920s or 30s. It's made to look like cut glass, although you can tell by the way it's made, this is very soft in the way it's made. If it was cut, actually, it would have sharp edges on it, and it would be much clearer, and it would have that nice cut glass ring. As an example of pressed glass, it's probably worth about $20–30.
Okay, that's all right. But I'm sure it's dear to your heart, so keep it. All right, now, back here, right? What do you got, guys?
Got a little toy.
Yeah? Oh, sure. Donald Duck, right? I got it. Anybody want to take a stab at this? Come on over here. And you again, you're Tim, right? From Christie's,
yeah.
right.
This is a wonderful example of an early Fisher-Price toy. I mean, people think Fisher-Price, you know, is just produced now. But this is probably 1930s, and in this condition, because of the condition of the lithography and everything is so great, it's probably about a $400 to $500 piece.
Okay, great, terrific. All right. Is it yours?
It's mine.
Do you sleep with it?
No.
Oh, I didn't think so. Who had the jewelry? Piece of ivory jewelry. Over here. Yes. Why don't you stand right up, okay? Okay, bring, is this what you're looking for, this stuff?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll bring it right over here, all right? Let's go. Here's our jewelry man. What's your name, sir?
Bert Xavier.
Hi, Bert.
Doyle Galleries.
From Doyle Galleries.
The nicest piece she has here is this Netsuke. It's Japanese, about 40 years old. And it's carved, and it has 3 colors to it. Every Netsuke has 2 holes. If it doesn't have 2 holes carved into it, it's not a Netsuke. And they wore it on their sash.
Right. And what is it worth, do you think?
$200 to $300.
Oh, okay, fine. Thank you very much. There you go. This is Frank's couch, $150. Who of the experts here, our specialists, is going to take a shot at appraising Frank's $150 couch? Now, you heard he threw out a number. He thinks 39 grand.
2,000 to 3,000.
Why? What's the deal?
It's a 19th century settee, probably Dutch, neoclassic style. It's a nice thing. It's certainly a substantial piece of furniture, but it's just not quite in demand. And I've seen similar things.
What happens if he holds it? How old does he have to be before it gets to be in demand? Store it, huh?
It's never going to command the kind of figures that he was quoted earlier.
So, Frank, sell it.
For sale.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll be back right after this. If you would like to join us in the studio audience, then call or write for free tickets. It's the Maury Povich Show, 221 West 26th Street, New York, New York, 10001. Or call 212-989-3622.
Cool, crisp, fresh. Discover the feeling of Fixodent Fresh. It's a strong, long hold. A secure, fresh approach to wearing dentures. And the cool, fresh sensation gives you the confidence to live life without limits. Try a fresh approach.
Sometimes life is an uphill battle.
Dunlop Tires. See your neighborhood tire pro, Kirby Kale Tire in Charlotte, Lake Norman Auto and Tire Center Cornelius, Spindale Tire Service Spindale, and B&D Tires and Alignment in Chester.
Snuggle, what do we need? Well, a little bit of everything that makes spring, spring.
Introducing Spring Blossom Snuggle.
Blossom? We need blossoms. Breezes? Gentle ones. And for extra freshness, grab a cloud or two. Get it! Snuggle!
Any nose can tell you springtime freshness is at its peak in every bottle of new Spring Blossom Snuggle.
You again? I told you this was your last chance.
It's the final days of the off-season sale at Valley Total Fitness, where you can get started for just $19 down and $19 a month. So call 1-800-WORKOUT now.
What are you waiting for?
At just $19 down and $19 a month. It's our absolute lowest price of the year.
Well, don't just sit there.
Call 1-800-WORKOUT and get started for just $19 down and $19 a month.
Pressure and stress, they can bring on acid indigestion. You need powerful relief. Rolaids can absorb 47% more acid than regular Tums. And it works fast when life puts the screws to you. Rolaids spells relief.
Staph bacteria can live almost anywhere. Ow! That's why every cut needs Neosporin. Neosporin kills germs and helps cuts heal 4 days faster. Use Neosporin to help heal cuts faster.
All right, now, we have one other item that we have to talk about. This is Jerry Weiss. Stand up, Jerry. You are the specialist in comic books.
Yes.
Take a look at those. What do you think?
Well, this is a great example of why comics are not worth a lot, because condition is king when you look at old comic books. These are from the early 60s. This particular comic would be $10 if it were in really nice shape, but it's really only worth about 35 cents.
And what are the most expensive? The old DC comics from what, the 30s?
Well, this would be a great example. 1938, Action Comics #1. And this will be in our next auction. It's estimated at $50,000 to $70,000.
A comic book?
Yes, absolutely.
Scotty, are you there? Come on out here, Scotty. Come on, Scott. stand up here, Jerry. Okay, let me sit. Now, Scott's sitting right there. Are you impressed with this?
Yes, of course.
Do you know all about that?
It's worth a lot of money, I know that.
What's your oldest, best comic book?
Ghost Rider, 1 through 8 I have.
All right, okay.
What's that worth?
They're in mint condition?
Oh, yeah, they're always mint condition.
175 now, yeah.
Each?
No, that would be for the group.
For the group?
Well,
Scotty.
They're my daughters.
Okay, Scotty, thank you. Thank you very much, Jerry from Sotheby's. I want to thank all of our guests. We've had a lot of fun. Good luck with your show. I'm sure it will do well. And good luck to all of our guests and all of our audience members and all of our bargain shoppers. Thank you out there, everyone. Until next time, America. Tomorrow, they're young couples already headed for divorce. Find out how far they'll go to win back the one they love. Tomorrow.
A promotional fee has been provided by... If you'd like to save up to 50% on your contact lenses, eyeglasses, and eye exams, call for a free Lens Express catalog. Call 1-800-206-LENS.
Introducing Remington Smart Setter, the only heated rollers that turn white when they're ready to use. For perfectly timed curls every time. Smart Setter, new from Remington.
Zostrix, the topical pain reliever rheumatologists choose for their arthritis pain and their families, needs no prescription. Zostrix, the one rheumatologists choose for their own.
When you need news and weather, Al Conklin, News Channel 3.
Russ, Carlin, you sell new skin. Is that right?
I do.
That's this. These are products for your face in skin.
Skincare and personal care products.
Right. Tell these people how much you make a year.
Somewhere around $3 million.
$3 million? Well, there's some folks here who want to get some of them samples. You know, put them in the back seat of the car and start rolling down suburban and urban streets. Well, Russ, you're telling us you make $3 million. That's an awful lot of money. You don't make it just by selling the product. You make it selling franchise.
Well, it's similar to selling franchises, but it's getting people involved that fall in love with the products and tell other people about it. They share the products with people. So it's a people working with people business.
But it also can be a scam.
Well, Phil, in some instances, they have been scams that were networking companies. But in our company, we're now in 16 countries. We're very consumer friendly. People can't get in trouble if they get involved with a company, don't like it. They can return the products for 100% refund in 30 days, and within 1 year, if they aren't happy, they can return it for a 90% refund.
From the Atlanta Journal and Constitution, this is a little over a year old, this article. New Skin International, which has a licensing deal with the public relations conscious USOC, that is the United States Olympic Committee, for one of its nutritional supplements, has developed a tarnished image. The company paid $1.2 million to settle federal trade charges earlier this year that it falsely represented the earning potential of distributors and made deceptive claims for 3 other products: a baldness treatment, a wrinkle solution, and a burn cream. You've got hyperactive salespeople out there who've devoted their lives to this business, and when they walk in on you with these products, they make you think you're going to be 12 years old after you're finished using the product. They are overstating the claims, and they are duping people into believing they're getting a product which can't possibly deliver on the promise. You don't do that, you're going to say.
Phil, probably the best thing that ever happened to us was be questioned in Michigan back in 1991. What it did was it helped the distributor force learn better what to do and how to explain who we are as distributors, and helped the company learn that if the distributors aren't out moving products, the sales go down. So it brought us into a better perspective with the company. We better appreciated Nu Skin, and Nu Skin better appreciated us. And I think because of it, we're a better company.
How many people have you engaged to sell that product? Just round numbers.
Personally?
Yeah.
I've brought in approximately 35 to 40 people, but I help hundreds and thousands of people recruit their people in 16 countries.
So the 35 to 40 people presumably recruited 3 and 6 and maybe 9 other people themselves. And you get a commission on what they recruit, don't you?
We get a commission on all of the people 6 levels deep. So in other words, our company pays us about the same, about 50 cents on the dollar to move our products to the inline consumer.
Right.
Similar to General Motors and Chrysler.
No, but I just want
moving
the
their cars to the automobile, from the automobile plant to the inline consumer.
No, it's not an investigation. I just want the folks to understand the way this income works here. You recruit him.
Yes.
He sells the product, and he also recruits her.
Yes.
She sells the product, and she also recruits her.
Correct.
And she may recruit her as well, because she's got a lot of friends.
Yes.
Now we've got lots of people selling this product, and you get a piece of all the action that they deliver to the company.
Correct.
So in fact, you've got 35 to 40 people, which you personally brought into the company, and they in turn might have recruited how many Nu Skin distributors, if that's what we want to call them?
Could be 150 to 100,000
So all the people out there that are the result of your initial hard work, who sell something, deliver to you a certain piece of their gross.
Okay, but Phil, it's real similar once again to you're spending the 50 cents on the dollar moving the automobile from the automobile plant to the inline consumer. That 50 cents on the dollar they spend on TV, advertising, radio, television. Our company pays us word of mouth advertising budget to talk to people and tell people about our great products.
But these alarms are not strange to you. You've heard this before. My wife is pregnant, the baby needs shoes, I just lost my job, I go to a hotel room somewhere where a guy says I can make X $1,000s a year, I get all excited, I take this, and then I am encouraged to call on my friend here. I want her to sell it too, and I get a little piece of the action for everything she sells. The problem is, about my second or third call, I realize that somebody has beaten me to this neighborhood and everybody's a distributor. I don't have any customers. They're all trying to sell to me. Now, in a super simple way, this is what a pyramid scheme is all about. The new word for it, which everybody hates, I know, in the business, is multi-level marketing. And all that means is that you're encouraging more and more people to do the same thing you do, and you're effectively digging a hole for yourself, because somebody else, if you don't get to the neighborhood first, you're not going to make anywhere near the money that is promised in those sales pitches.
The new word is worldwide network distribution.
So in other words, you can exploit not only your neighborhood for sales, but the whole world.
Phil, you know what's really interesting is it wouldn't have worked 10 years ago when our company started 10 years ago.
Right.
They didn't have computer software programs to handle 16 countries and do the currency differences. Without the Bill Gateses 10 years ago weren't even worth $1 billion.
So you can sell
Today's
internationally then.
We sell internationally. We not only that, as we sponsor people in Korea, in Japan, in Taiwan, in Hong Kong, in Europe, we get a percentage of that market share by finding the right person that wants more out of life, that wants to go out there and become a distributor.
And you're making $3 million a year.
And I'm proud of it.
Well, you're certainly a free man. Nobody sent you to jail. Meet Fred Hofecker, who is Assistant Attorney General, State of Michigan. Well, what are you doing here, Mr. Attorney General? I hope you're not investigating me. Just to start us off here, tell me, is there something wrong with what Russ has shared with us here, sir?
Well, there certainly was in 1991 when Nu Skin came to Michigan. Selling product didn't appear to be the company's main business. Selling distributorships seemed to be the company's main business. We had a piece of litigation with Nu Skin and a lot of long head-banging conversations with the top of the company, and Nu Skin made significant changes in how they operate.
Some of those sins included overstating the amount of income you can make?
Oh, absolutely.
Exploiting the franchise rather than the product. In other words, selling so many... It's like, the guy wheels out a wheelbarrow from the plant every night, and the guard's looking at that. What in the world? This guy, he's got a wheelbarrow. An empty wheelbarrow. Why should that be? 3 months later, they discovered he was selling wheelbarrows, stealing wheelbarrows. Now we have here another Trojan horse, and that is not so much the product as signing up people to sell it.
Sure. Frank Kelly has been Attorney General for over 30 years. He was the first guy in the country to take an action against Glenn Turner, the Dare to Be Great, who was really the father of this whole phenomenon. It's nothing new. We've taken over 100 actions in the last 2 or 3 years against multi-level marketing companies and pyramids. What we look for is, do you derive your $3 million profit from the sale of the product or from signing up other people? And if you get paid for signing up other people, you're in violation of our law, and Frank Kelly's going to talk to you. If you're selling product, that's something else.
And it's not always easy to know, is it?
No, it isn't easy to know.
Because part of Mr. Carlin's job is not only to move this merchandise, but to develop more distributors as well.
Phil,
well,
he might make no money if the distributors don't. You only make money when we move product from Nu Skin to the end-line consumer. It was that way 10 years ago, and we were misunderstood because we had so many people out there.
Yes.
Not a perfect. I mean, we've got excited distributors.
And there were exaggerated claims,
And today, I don't think we have that.
All right. Don Griffin? You were formerly involved with 4 multi-level marketing organizations, and you made very good money. What was your first one?
Herbalife.
Herbalife. How are we with Herbalife, Mr. Attorney General?
We had some problems with Herbalife initially. They're not a difficult company to do business with in Michigan anymore.
They're still active.
Certainly.
And they're obeying the law.
As to the best of our knowledge.
What happened with you in Herbalife, Mr. Griffin?
Made a lot of money, had a good time, affected a lot of people's health, I think in a positive way. What happened was some of the negative publicity that came out about the product, people literally shut their mouths and quit taking the product. And so my income went from $15,000 a month to about 0 very quickly. And that was a negative experience. That was the rug being pulled out from under us. And, I mean, you're right, Russ. I mean, it's the end user that's got to take the product. But in our case, because of some of the negative publicity, we couldn't overcome that. And
so you moved on to what other products?
United Sciences.
United Sciences is...
USA.
Yeah, what does that sell?
It was vitamins as well. It was really a fallout from a lot of the Herbalife. People got involved with United Sciences.
No wonder I'm feeling tired. I don't take any of this.
But what happened with that one? What happened with that one is that one day I went to the bank to deposit my check, and it was no good. And so, all of this effort resulted in naught.
Most of your money selling franchises.
I was moving a lot of people through the program, yes.
So that your income had less to do with the product than it did with signing up people to sell it. I mean, this is not an accusation.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, and then you moved on to what? Boy, you really...
A.L. Williams in Primerica, which is now Primerica, A.L. Williams.
And is that a vitamin as well?
No. It's a financial services company.
Well, is it like this? Is it door-to-door?
It's multi-level, yes.
Yes, and you're doing very well?
I did with that, yeah. In fact, I was #1 in the country at my particular level, yeah. But I got out of that too. What ended up happening, Phil, is that some of the, I think, inherent dangers in multi-level marketing happened, at least happened for me. And maybe it's just my personality.
Briefly share with us what those are.
Okay, #1 is it creates linear thinking, to where you got to put your blinders on and just think about that product. Get on the treadmill, think about moving that, and that's the only thing you get to think about. And there's this whole other world out there happening, and all you can do is just the linear thinking about your particular program, because if you get off that treadmill, you're going to lose all the effort that you ever put into it. #2, what it does is creates this grid vision, I call it, to where every person I'm looking at, I've got to look at them through this lens of how they're going to fit into my business. And so that affects how I look at everybody. And I didn't like that happening to me, that I'm looking at everybody in a different way like that. And then the third thing is, I got 4 daughters. And what it did to me is it created what I call travel time. I'm out with my kid. I want to go spend some time with my kid.
Tell them about the amusement park.
Yeah, I'm out there wanting to spend some time, just swing with my with my little 4-year-old daughter, and so all of a sudden I see somebody looks pretty sharp, and I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute, let's see. Now I'm here to swing with my baby, but there's somebody over there that looks real good to be in my business. So all of a sudden my mind's traveling over there, how I can be involved, get over there in jockey position to talk to them about my business, because I know I got to pump people through this pipeline in order to be successful at what I do.
Well, you don't have to be in this kind of franchise retail game to get those feelings. And I don't think there's anything in the Michigan Code that's going to bring the AG on you on this.
Right, that's right.
But you do give us the mindset of people who do this. It quite literally becomes a religion and consumes you.
It does. It's evangelistic.
And when you say like a couple, this would be presumably a young, demographically correct, attractive couple with
That's
1.5 children.
That's right.
This would be someone that would be a marketing target for you, right?
That's exactly
Not to just buy this merchandise, but you were more interested in getting them to sell it. Isn't that so?
That's correct.
All right. So the energy goes to the making the network of distributors rather than moving the merchandise, and that's what gets the AG on your case. Okay, but let's understand the Attorney General's problem here. How in the world do you tell the difference? And why is it more evil to sell somebody on selling than it is to sell somebody the product directly?
Well, if you set up a multi-level company on what I think they call in the business a 3x9 matrix, that's 3 people who recruit 3, who recruit 3, all the way down 9 levels, you're talking nearly 60,000 people in order for you to really make money at the top. There's something wrong with that. Right now,
Russ did it.
Well, Russ is selling product, though, he's telling me.
And
Russ is not signing
And you don't just get 3 people, you get 12 people, and it's a relationship, Mark. You work with the people and help them.
Right now, particularly in Michigan, we have a population, people who have been out of work for the first time in their life, downsizing. They're getting severance packages, they've got money. They look good to multi-level marketers because they don't want to go work for one of the big 3 again. They just got shafted by the big 3. I can be my own boss, and I'm not going to get laid off again.
My own hours?
Exactly.
I'm working out of my home.
Sure.
A product is delivered to my basement. I can recruit from my home.
The problem is you fill up your basement with that product because you're out there recruiting, not moving the product, and that's our problem.
And we have to break here, but a significantly high percentage of the people who first sign up with all that bushy-haired enthusiasm, they're like, we're really on fire. The air goes out of that balloon, and you've got a basement full of product that you can never use if you live 3 lifetimes.
Exactly.
And you often have trouble getting the money back from the company that you've given the money to acquire the merchandise. Shackley's, you've heard of Shackley's. Well, Sharon Killian Morton is here to talk about that, and Roberta Ann Bernard is likewise here. She used to work for Mary Kay Cosmetics. And before it was over, do I understand this correctly, Miss Bernard? You lost your house?
Right. I lost more than my house.
We'll talk about that and other issues when we come back in just a moment.
What do we need? Well, a little bit of everything that makes spring, spring.
Introducing Spring Blossom Snuggle.
Blossom? We need blossoms. Breezes? Gentle ones. And for extra freshness, grab a cloud or 2. Get it! Snuggle!
Any nose can tell you springtime freshness is at its peak in every bottle of new Spring Blossom Snuggle.
Here's your Pop-Tart.
Another one. See you after baseball practice. Got the toaster strudel? Of course. So when is your mom going to find out about toaster strudel? Soon, I hope.
Pillsbury Toaster Strudel is like a Pop-Tart, but better, with layers of flaky pastry, juicy filling, and do-it-yourself icing.
So what do you do with the Pop-Tarts?
Something better just popped up in your grocer's freezer. Pillsbury Toaster Strudel.
Meet my husband, Tom. Fabulous father. My best friend. Of course, Mark here takes me to the most romantic places in the world. I found Mark and Dave and Ethan in Harlequin Books, where I also find smart contemporary women in exciting relationships, really entertaining stories, and enough variety for everyone, including you. Plus, for a limited time, this cubic zirconia pendant is yours with every Harlequin book you buy. supply. So hurry to your store now. Details are in Harlequin Books, along with Mark.
Ted Danson. On our new show, Inc., we play a couple that used to be married, but we still have to work together. Mary Steenburgen.
So to me, what this show is really about is life going on after divorce. It's about friendship, making adjustments, moving on.
Really? See, I think it's more about revenge, actually.
Really? No, I don't.
Really? That's funny.
Inc., CBS Mondays this fall.
How do you know when your ex is lying?
Her mouth moves. Ow!
Sharon Shackley, the audience is familiar with this brand name. These are health products?
Mm-hmm.
These are food additives?
Well, they're not food additives, they're food supplements.
That's what I meant. Well, Sharon, no sad songs for you. You like what you're doing, isn't that so?
Oh, I love what I'm doing.
And it says here you're making $35,000 to $40,000 a year.
Yes.
And you're a married person?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kids?
No kids, just a new puppy.
And you're working out of your home? Mm-hmm. And you got involved, why? Because a friend met you at a wedding reception and said, hey, I'm doing this and happy, or how'd this come to your attention?
Well, my husband has been taking the products now about 13 years, and
As a consumer?
As a consumer. His parents have taken the products now for 20 years, and we were dating about two and a half years ago, and he said, you know, when we get married, you're going to have to take all these Shackley products because I want you to live a long time. And I was like, what? And I'd heard of Shackley my whole life. It's a 40-year-old company with a wonderful reputation. And I started trying the products. I got great results. I was in corporate advertising sales and I got to where I couldn't shut up about the products and started learning more about the business opportunity and just decided to, hey, this is what I want to do. And I'm lucky that I have my husband there to help support me.
Right.
But now I work literally 15, 20 hours a week and can have a lot more extra time than I had before, and a lot less stress.
Do you sell not only the product, but you encourage other people to be a distributor as well?
I do, but it's not a full-time recruit, and maybe that's why I'm not making $3 to $4 million a year. I don't know, but it's really what I enjoy doing, and I feel very positive about it. And I have a successful group, and I've attracted a lot of what do you want to call professional people, attorneys, airline captains,
You called on your friends first, I'm sure.
Yes, but my friends were not the best prospects, if you will.
How do you do this to strangers? You don't make house calls, do you?
No, I build relationships with people, whether it's I'm in Toastmasters International as a speaker, I am a member of a country club. I mean, I have different things I do, and I build relationships, and then I get them to try a few things.
See. So then presumably there are several options. If I'm a client and you call on me, I can get a $50 package, a $150 package, and then I presume that these are mailed products to my home?
Mailed or delivered directly from me. It can be from the company.
So I have an option as to which supplement I would want to take.
Phil, if you wanted to just order instant protein, you could just order this. There's no set package where you have to buy $50 worth of products or $100 worth of products.
Yes.
You can buy one individual bottle of something.
Right. How are we doing with this, Mr. Attorney General from Michigan?
Shackley sold in Michigan. And once again, if your focus is selling the product rather than selling the opportunity, we don't have a problem with you. It's still America.
Yeah. And the reason selling the opportunity is not a good thing is why? Why is that illegal? I mean, I'm just struggling with this.
Okay,
I appreciate that if you go out and knock on a door and you realize everybody's an Avon distributor, you're not going to be able to sell many Avon products.
The easy answer is because the legislature said so. The reason why maybe they said so is because we have the vulnerable people. You have these evangelistic meetings with people holding up handfuls of money, huge checks.
Yes.
They know whether they're really making it. Amway, which is a very large, based in Michigan, multi-level marketing company, they tell us the average Amway distributor makes $70 a month. Now, that's far from $3 million.
Yes.
And perhaps the reason why is they don't work as hard. Who knows? But that's real life in the multi-level marketing business. Very few people get wealthy. Some people enjoy it and do a good job at it. Other people fail miserably, end up with a house full of product.
Here's an Amway rally. Here's what happens when you get you in a room. I mean, this has a religious look about it. Holy cow. Praise the product and pass the money. Watch this. Amway.
Some of you, right here this weekend, you're going to leave this weekend, and for the first time in your life, you're going to say and realize, I've got wings, I can fly, I am a winner, I'm going to do it because I have freedom in America.
What's wrong with a little promotion? What? Yes. You don't do that, do you?
No, I do not. And I've had some ex-Amway people in my group say, no, you're not going to be playing music, and I'm not going to have to go to some big rally.
Well, that God is introduced into some of this. Isn't that so?
And I'm like, no, you don't
First
have to
thing,
do that.
God. Second thing, family. Third, the widget that we're selling. Praise the Lord and sell the widget. I'm sorry, you wanted to say...
No, I just want to tell you, I do not tell people that this is get rich quick. This is build a business as you go, and it can provide financial security on the side. So many corporations are downsizing, and you don't know if your job's going to be there. But I never tell people it's get rich quick. Never, because it's not. It's working.
But there is nothing quite like the feeling that comes over my whole body when a very close friend of mine looks at me and says, I got an Indian belt to sell you. Imitation turquoise. How do I say no? And isn't this a little uncomfortable? And are we not encouraging people with these rallies to go out and get in the faces of their friends and perhaps jeopardize relationships? I would ask you, Mr. Griffin.
Just before I got on the plane to come over here, I'm in the park with my 4-year-old, my 11-year-old, and this guy, I can see him. He jockeys himself a position, and I can see he's about to, and sure enough, he started getting some information about me, and the night before I got on the plane to come here, the phone rings. Hello, Don, this is Brian. Remember I met you at the park? I've started my own business, and you look like the kind of guy I'd love to have involved with me in this thing. I said, don't tell me you're involved with Amway. He said, yes. I said, well, I've had several of your people calling me, and I'm not interested, but thank you very much. You're still a good guy. See you.
We still have yet to speak with Roberta Ann Bernard, who, as we told you, was full-time Mary Kay until she wound up with a whole lot of expenses. And she was, as a result of the web in which she found herself, obliged to sell her house. We'll be back to talk to her in just a moment.
Mary, would you like to lower your monthly payments and get the cash you need for your daughter's education? Mary, are you listening? John, you can consolidate all those high-interest debts into one lower monthly payment. Are you there, John? Now there may be a way for homeowners like you to combine all your high-interest debts into one lower monthly payment and get cash for the things you need. Just call United Companies Lending about a home equity loan. For 50 years, we've been helping honest, hard-working families get back on track, even people with less than perfect credit. That's because at United Companies, we care more about your credit future than your credit history. Call now. Applying is easy. There's usually no out-of-pocket expense, and you can typically get your money within 10 days. Don't put off getting the extra money you need. There's a United Companies office near you. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Philo is 35 years old. Make a wish.
And celebrate with savings of over $43 on items like these during our buy one, get one free sale. Plus, save over $5 with super bonus coupon items like Philo large eggs, 49 cents a dozen with coupon. Folgers coffee, 99 cents with coupon. And Walter's best summer fruit, jumbo honeydew melons, just $1.88 each. Thank you for shopping at Philo during the big 35th anniversary sale.
In celebration of 100 years of chiropractic, the North Carolina Chiropractic Association presents the hour-long documentary From Simple Beginnings to air on this local station later this week. Chiropractic was founded in 1895 by Dr. Daniel David Palmer, and today over 17 million people rely on chiropractic to obtain and maintain optimum health. It's the fastest-growing healthcare profession in the world today. Drugs and medications are often used for aches and pains, masking symptoms, not correcting the problem. Tune in to learn more about this natural approach to healing.
I'm Harry Pollard of the law firm of Parker, Pollard & Brown. I hope that you will never have the misfortune of suffering from an accident. Sometimes, however, the events in our lives are beyond our control. Should you be injured due to the fault of someone else, Parker, Pollard & Brown will meet with you, answer your questions, and help you receive compensation for your injuries.
Parker, Pollard, and Brown, helping people who've been injured in an accident. Call 334-9555 for a free consultation.
For a transcript of Donahue, send $3 to Journal Graphics, 1535 Grant Street, Denver, Colorado, 80203. Or call 303-831-9000. To order a video cassette for only $24.95, just call 1-800-FOR-VIDEO.
All right, Roberta, we're on. What'd they tell you when they recruited you to sell Mary Kay products? You remember?
My experience, yeah, I really remember that. It was just a watershed experience in my whole life. The two issues that I really have fought against still and really want to warn the public against is I was frauded on two different levels, and those interacting with each other was something I just had no idea how to deal with.
Yes.
The first one was recruiting figures. I was given, this was in 1980, I was given $325 was company average earnings.
Per week?
Per week, per week.
When you say earnings, as in net, take home?
As in take home, right. It had been $650 and there's a 50% markup, so...
So $325, baby needs shoes, money, and walking, your money.
I
Go
have
ahead.
a mortgage. My son's in private school. I have expenses. I'm a single parent. I have expenses. So I thought that sounded a little bit much. They were talking about part-time work now for $325 a week. I had the sheets. One-on-one, I don't think I'd have been so vulnerable. But if you don't believe them, they bring in the troops. And you hear it over and over again. They parrot the same thing. I finally fell for it. But I think the bigger issue for me, they have a Trojan horse. And they may think that their Trojan horse is cosmetics. And it's going out as missionaries, which most of them will tell you they are. But the Trojan horse, to me, was... I was told over and over that they're a Christian company, they pray about things, God first, family second, business third. I bought into that, the morality of it and such. The Trojan horse for me was that they pretended to be Christian, and really what they're after is making a very broad base for themselves to make some money. I found out later that through the Mary Kay legal department, that at the time that I was frauded, that $74 per week was company average earnings. That was from the Mary Kay legal department.
Of all the people selling Mary Kay products, the average income was $74 a week.
Right.
And that was not revealed to you at the time of the presentation. We should say this is 1980. Mary Kay has sent us a statement. They certainly know you very well. And I don't know.
Actually, they don't know me very well. They would never talk to me. They said these were independent contractors and it was between me and them. So they don't know me very well. I did talk to Mary Kay, but she said nothing like this goes on in her company.
Yes. Did you go to a rally of the kind that we just saw? Or was that?
No, that was a little bit hyped. These are all women, and I know that there were those rallies, but I guess I wanted more of the down-to-earth. And
With the clock ticking. What was the second level?
The second level of fraud for me was the spiritual and the relational. I had grown up Presbyterian, I had converted Catholic. In the 80s, I had never opened up a Bible. I didn't know we could do that ourselves. I had never prayed with anyone. I had prayed by myself, but never with anyone. They opened up all kinds of doors for me spiritually. But in with the so-called prime rib of spirituality was a lot of poison, and I couldn't see it until it was too late. When I would decide to leave or to go interview with another company because I wasn't making it, I was starting to get into trouble, then they would attack my faith, and then we would do more Bible studies. And even when I was recruited, most of it was shown how many pastors' wives were in it. It was all the spiritual. But when I lost everything, and to the very end it was an attack on me, they were so spiritual, they wouldn't talk to me anymore. All of them. I mean, I lost like a church, my whole social life, my whole professional life. They had me take out a loan on my new car. My car had been paid for. I grew up very conservative, Midwestern.
To take out a loan in order to what? Buy more product?
In order to, they told me, and they teach you this in their manuals I've seen, to establish credit as a business owner. so that I could buy product, right.
Yes. Now, we'll speak more directly to this, and I wish I had a longer show. And you were not going to be upset if I just asked you this question. That some of our viewers may want to ask. You were too naive. You were a woman looking for something more than just a work opportunity. They made you believe somehow there would be a faith or a spirituality that would make you feel better about this. And that you should have blown the whistle on this activity sooner. I apologize for what must appear to you to be a rather insensitive question. But how could an educated, grown woman like yourself, and you say, were you a single parent at the time?
Right.
Well, probably had lots of pressure too. How could you let yourself get sucked in like that?
I've asked myself that a lot, and it took a long time for me to forgive myself, quite frankly. I just beat myself up something terribly because I've paid consequences, my family, my son. They were believing their lies. I guess I got so far in that I wanted to believe it, and I really didn't know how to separate this newfound getting into the Bible and reading Bible and praying with people. I didn't want to walk away from that part, and I didn't know how to separate it out. This does sound naive maybe. In that case, we're all naive because my director didn't even know that they had recruiting materials that said $74 a week was company average earnings.
From Mary Kay, the cosmetic company, this statement, I'll read it rapidly, but they're entitled to be understood in any event. We at Mary Kay Cosmetics are very sorry that Roberta Ann Bernard had an unfortunate experience as a Mary Kay independent beauty consultant. Such an experience is certainly not typical, as evidenced by the fact that there are more than 400,000 independent Mary Kay beauty consultants operating on their own Mary Kay businesses in 25 countries worldwide. We've become known as the premier entrepreneurial opportunity for women. Mary Kay Cosmetics makes absolutely no claim about what a person can expect to earn as an independent Mary Kay consultant. While a beauty consultant's income depends entirely on her own individual talent, dedication, and enthusiasm, the company offers ongoing sales training and support throughout her career. Should a Mary Kay beauty consultant determine that she is dissatisfied with her career, the company will buy back the consultant's product inventory at 90% of the purchase. Our records indicate that Ms. Bernard did not return product to the company. Mary Kay Cosmetics is not a multi-level marketing company. Every Mary Kay beauty consultant purchases products direct from the company at the same price and then sells that product direct to consumers. Consultants are discouraged from purchasing more inventory than they can use or sell.
It's recruiting material. I've heard this parroted over and over from anyone you go out and talk to from Mary Kay people.
Briefly, you wanted to say, I've got a break.
It's so powerful. You've got all these people coming at you saying, you're going to make this money, you're going to make this money, you're going to make this money. And it's just hard to turn down.
Well, especially if you're a single woman wondering about the next paycheck, and who isn't under pressure today? We've already heard the Attorney General from Michigan make the point that we've got retirees out there who do, maybe on the occasion of their leave taking from the big corporation, have more cash on hand than ever before in their life. They're vulnerable to this kind of pitch. You wanted to say about this issue, Mr. Attorney General.
Well, everybody wants success. And there are times in your life when you're more vulnerable than other times to this kind of an approach.
That's true.
And we tell people, don't take your checkbook to these meetings. Don't even take your credit cards. Don't even take much cash, because you might get carried away with this evangelical flow and sign up to something that's going to make you sorry later.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Heroin's gone from the streets to the suburbs. This housewife lost her marriage and her kids.
I was living on the edge.
Next, Donahue.
You know what dirty pots and pans call for. But what about dirty glasses, dishes, silverware? Introducing the new SOS Scrubber Sponge. With a new shape for hard-to-clean places, a thicker, long-lasting sponge side, and an SOS Tough Scrubber side. The new SOS Scrubber Sponge. Now every kind of mess calls for SOS.
One loan, one payment each month, and nothing more.
Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
If you're like most homeowners, you're paying a mortgage, several credit cards, and an auto loan each month. That's why the Money Store introduced the combo loan. With a combo loan from the Money Store, you can refinance your mortgage and consolidate your bills. You'll have one loan, one payment, and write just one check each month.
Plus, the interest can be tax deductible.
One loan, one payment with a combo loan from the Money Store. Call 1-800-LOAN-YES.
Every once in a while, there comes a stain so incredible, so complex, so hideous. You may need extra help getting it out. Introducing Whisk Away Pre-Treat with Penetron, the tough stain-fighting formula that penetrates deep into stains fast. Don't risk it, whisk it. New Whisk Away Pre-Treat.
The word around Cheers is that Sam's in a real big slump.
Clear the runway.
Now, anybody will tell you that old curved slider has always been Sam's bread and butter pitch. Nobody can touch it. Over the plate, every time.
Okay, how do you do it?
Well, not anymore. And when you start to lose your stuff around here, it's really funny how fast they'll turn on you.
Hey, how about an early shower?
Is a fat lady singing for Sam? Next time on Cheers.
Baseball is very good month on Cheers. Tonight at 8:30 on News Channel 3.
Good morning from the WBTV Newsroom. I'm CJ Underwood. It's a lot quieter in thousands of Charlotte-Mecklenburg households. It's the first day of school, and the first day ever at a School of the Arts, still not quite finished. In the Caldwell County mountain town of Lenore, the search for a young man wanted in the shooting of 2 policemen. One officer is in critical condition. In Shelby, 3 men run for cover early this morning when someone opens fire on them with a shotgun. And happy bus riders after Saturday's Panthers game. We'll have details when you join us for the news at noon.
Catherine Kathy Frampton joins us. You're, I assume you've met Mr. Hofecker?
I did earlier.
You paid $5,000 for an NSA distributorship. What is that, Catherine?
NSA is National Safety Associates. They promote water filters and air filters.
I see. And you're from what part of the country?
I'm from Michigan. And I kind of am a little bit of everything that's gone on, the gospel get-together, the woman that got sucked in, and a little bit of everything. But at least I have a ending that's more happy working with the Attorney General's office in the state of Michigan.
Yes. Tell us just...
briefly, what happened to me is...
Did you go to a hotel ballroom, or how do you do that?
I'm a nurse by profession, and another nurse friend of mine invited me to a community college for a meeting on a potentially an opportunity to make money on the side.
Right.
So I went, and it was a very large auditorium, elaborate. There were several sports figures from the Detroit area there promoting, you know, they had some films and screens, and they actually showed this water filter. Instead of water coming out of it, coins, gold coins were falling out of it. So anyways,
really?
Yes.
An animated film showed them.
Oh, absolutely. It was this tremendous product, and they had people from different levels of management, people from all over the country that are making $3-4 million a year. Needless to say...
Now, you drank the water through the filter.
I did.
And you didn't notice a difference.
I didn't.
And then you did when you what?
I made some coffee. And Michigan we're surrounded by water, so we have good water.
I mean, Great Lakes, come on.
That's right.
When you go, we all go.
So I figured, well, I couldn't taste the difference except when I made the coffee. So
okay, let the audience understand that. You drank the coffee and you did notice the difference.
I noticed the difference.
So we're starting to get a believer here. Go ahead.
A little bit. I'm very skeptical as it is, but then my friend came to the house and met my husband and went over the program, and he brought another person with him that had brought him into the organization.
Are these crystals, or are they, is it... charcoal? What's
it's a charcoal filter. It's a canister that you sit on your sink, or you can put it under your sink, or you can get a whole house system. And then they have air filters too, which have a HEPA filter, which supposedly are...
Now, the filters presumably have to be changed.
They were saying every 3 years, but since it's a closed container and you really have no way of seeing what's in there, we had to go on their word. That was how you would get repeat business, is every 3 years you change the canister.
Does a professional plumber have to install this?
No, you install it yourself.
You can?
Yes.
Okay. You don't need a saw and a blowtorch and all that stuff?
No, you just put it on your faucet, and then you have to push the button to make the water come through it.
What was the retail price of one unit?
$189.
And you say it's installed underneath the sink near the trap?
Well, or on top. There's two different filters.
Okay, so there you go. You got you say your husband looked this guy over?
He was a friend of ours.
Ah.
Was. I have to say
okay,
was.
so how much did you have to spend, Kathy?
Well, there was a sense of urgency that if we came in at a $5,000 level, we would bypass the first 2 levels and become into a management level.
Yeah,
where
Mr. Griffin is nodding with affirmation. There's nothing you can tell Mr. Griffin that he isn't already either.
I've been an NSA too. Yeah.
Huh?
I did an NSA too.
You did?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Go ahead.
Well, anyways,
So did my dad,
I got
my brother.
the $5,000 worth, which came from the person who brought me in his basement. So they got rid of some of their things in
Sure
the
they
basement
did.
and moved it to my basement.
And then how do you sell? You call on your
you
friends
know,
first, right?
They tell you to make a list of 100 people you know, 100 intimate friends. So, needless to say, I had a real hard time calling on my good friends to say, do you want to buy a water filter? So after about 3 or 4 months, I thought, you know what it is they wanted all these Indians, or all these chiefs to recruit the Indians, and they kept saying you didn't have to sell product, and I couldn't figure out how I didn't have to sell the product.
Oh, well, they must have told you you're going to get a certain...
If I bring people in, I'll never have to sell that product. They'll sell that product for me. But yet I had $5,000 worth of water filters in my basement that no one was willing to sell for me. And I saw pretty quickly that this was really a big scam.
Yeah. Did you go to the AG then?
What I did is I made, I think, what was a pretty valiant effort for about a year. And then I brought one friend in who's not my friend anymore now either.
Yeah.
She thought I led her down this primrose path. But I called the Office of the Attorney General. Again, maybe it's because I follow through on insurance companies and things in my line of work, but I always think that there's some resolve for the consumer. There has to be. And we have, Frank Kelly's been our Attorney General forever, as long as I can remember. And so I called his office and I spoke with Marilyn, and she gave me some steps to follow. She said, now you can, she wouldn't tell me up front.
Let me give you an uninterrupted chance to make... We want to know how you got out of this, and we'll find out when we come back in just a minute.
People who criticize my granddad just don't know him. My grandfather is just a kind and caring and warm person, and he's there to help everybody, and people just need to know that.
The real Jesse Helms is a very loving man, very caring, somebody who would do anything for his country, anything for his family.
He always stands up for what he believes. He's never wavered once.
He's very effective. He stands up for what he believes in, and that means a lot in today's world. He's been great for North Carolina.
My grandfather is just a great guy, and I wish everyone could see that.
So guys, who does the cooking on this boat?
No cooking.
No cooking? If you got back into port, say late, you guys ever think about having breakfast for lunch?
Oh, absolutely.
Breakfast for dinner?
Absolutely. That's my style.
If you had an omelet that had steak in it.
In the omelet.
In the omelet. Steak omelet. How does that sound?
That's definitely an original idea. Yeah, I'd try that.
Yeah. You know, IHOP serves breakfast all day long. Sounds good to me.
That's good.
It's making me hungry.
Yeah.
Actually, what do you say we head over to IHOP for some breakfast?
All right. You mind?
Retreat? Oh, nice.
All right.
I wish I had the time and money for 4 years of college, but I don't. I have to get a good job now. But everywhere I go, they say, do you have any computer skills? Where am I supposed to learn computers?
ECPI can train you quickly for exciting careers in networking, electronics, medical data services, communications, computerized accounting. So if you're out of time and need to learn fast, call ECPI for their free brochure.
When you spend a dime, you want their time.
They're men who say if they pay, they expect women to obey.
Why else would I be wasting my time taking her out?
Men talk about what they really want from a date on the next Montel.
Montel Williams, today at 4 on News Channel 3. Today at 5 o'clock on your news channel, a word of caution for parents. If you are signing your child up with a modeling agency, do your homework. We'll have some advice on the modeling industry today at 5 on WBTV News Channel 3.
What is it about Food Lion that gets people's motors running? Well, it's extra low prices on all of your favorite NASCAR sponsors brands. Maybe it's time you hurried over to Food Lion for your next pit stop. So hurry to Food Lion and shop in the fast lane.
Excuse me, produce?
Produce, yeah, you go past the tires, left at the car batteries, then right at the lawnmower.
At Food Lion, you find everything you need without having to find your way through everything you don't need.
Food Lion, extra low prices and more.
Thank you, Kathy, for being so patient. All right, we've got $5,000 worth of NSA product in your basement. That is a water filter product selling for more than $100 a piece. and you are discovering that this merchandise isn't moving, and you find yourself being encouraged by the distributor to get people to sell this.
Right.
So they're more interested in getting people to sell it than they are in actually moving the product.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now you call the Attorney General in Michigan, and he refers you. You get a woman who's sensitive to what you're saying, and she tells you to do what?
She told me to try these, and she gave me very specific steps to follow. You know, approach the manufacturer, write to them that you've not had any success selling the product, that you don't want to be involved anymore, and approach it that way. So what I did is I sent a letter to NSA, and a district manager from NSA called me back. And it was, this whole period, it seems like it was a short period of time, but it was, I'm talking about 2 years.
Right.
I had had him call me, and he said that it wasn't policy of the company to take product back, but in my situation that they might consider.
Had you told them you notified the agent?
I had. That's how, and I had mentioned that. And and at this point, I don't know how many other problems are going on with the state. They don't tell you that when you call. They just say, yes, we've had some other people address this issue.
Right.
So they asked me if I would send them an inventory of the product I had and what I had paid for it, and they made a specific point of saying they wouldn't take back any videotapes or learning materials or anything paper, any printed material. So I inventoried everything up, and they told me, again, a lot of this was going on by phone and by the mail. They sent me a shipping label with my inventory on it, and I had to ship it out. It was a freight carrier. They had to come and pick it up.
Right.
They took the product back, and it was the money I had paid for the product I shipped back. I got that money back, but with the check came very specific guidelines that I was never to tell anybody I got my money back, never to tell anybody how I got my money back, and never to tell anybody how much money I got back.
A totally unenforceable.
That's, well, you know, I looked at this and thought, well, everybody has a right to speak, and if anybody would ask me, I'd definitely tell them how I did this.
Yes.
'Cause
HMOs, incidentally, are doing that to doctors. Don't talk, don't speak, don't sit, don't stand, just shut up.
Right.
And just do your job, and don't be blowing whistles on us. We've already had a physician on the... And those have, well, we have CBS and the tobacco people.
Sure,
You know,
well, you know, that's one reason I wanted to come on the show is when they were talking about doing this panel is because Roberta got, you know, she probably felt she was out there by herself, that there are other, but I have a feeling there's thousands and thousands of people who all invested $5,000 like I did.
and they're ashamed that they got a basement full of stuff.
That's right, and what do they do with it?
Yes.
Oh,
You want to say something good about marketing?
No, well, I had a bad experience in 1989 with another company, and this was in Dallas. It was real hot. Professionals were all doing this company called Fund America.
Right.
Bottom line is, I lost $3,000. There was no inventory or whatever, and I said I would never do multi-level marketing again, and I found a wonderful, legitimate company. So it can be done.
All right. Shackley's is the company about which you speak positively.
Yes,
What
yes.
was it you were supposed to be selling in the other?
Oh, it was such a bad experience. I can only remember it. It was memberships which had services, and part of the service
Oh, you get a
was,
discount.
yeah, like using the credit card, and I remember all the stuff,
All right.
coupons and
The
what have
Attorney
you.
General returns in just a moment to give us a full reading on this, but let's just see the 100 on. If you're considering multi-level marketing, the kind of marketing about which we speak, and there's a good deal of hostility to that phrase in this business, check out the company with your local Attorney General or State Attorney General, Better Business Bureau, FTC, and trade associations like Direct Selling Association. We'll meet a man from that organization in a moment. Don't accept unsubstantiated earnings claims. Don't take your checkbook, as you've already been told, or credit cards to a recruiting meeting. Don't get swept up in the fervor of recruiting meeting. And do walk away from large upfront purchase requirements, payments for recruiting others, and products that may not have a market. Take your time. There is no rush. Go home. Sleep on it. Breathe slowly through your nose before you be writing any checks to anybody. Back in just a moment.
Put your hair at risk every time you wash it. Just combing can break it.
Pantene has Pro Vitamins that help keep hair strong so it breaks less. Pantene Pro V, for hair so healthy it shines.
Strong can be beautiful.
Once in a while, there comes a stain so complex, so hideous. You may need extra help getting it out. Introducing Whisk Away Pre-Treat with Penetron. It penetrates deep into stains fast. New Whisk Away Pre-Treat.
For just $14.99 a month, Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile will give you what you've always wanted, a mom locator.
Hello? This is the school nurse.
For $14.99, you can have a field office.
Bye.
Sell. For $14.99 a month, you can have talk-along cellular service from Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile, the cellular leader. It's a great deal on cellular and a great minute rate, day or night. Come on, couldn't you use a roadside assistant? 1-800-255...
Here comes one. Oh, an 87 Buick station wagon. Got it. 74 Volkswagen Beetle. A 285 horsepower V8 6-speed 1996 Chevy Camaro Z28.
Yeah. But what color?
Close to Home with Barbara McKay wants to make your holiday a blast. Hi, I'm Barbara McKay. On the next Close to Home, we'll share recipes and tips for an old-fashioned 4th of July ice cream social. Dig into these decadent desserts and learn how to make a patriotic parfait. Get the recipe for an easy cake that loves to dress up for parties, and find out how your family can celebrate summer with ice cream and free movie tickets. Don't miss Close to Home, Sunday, June 30th at 6:30 p.m. Brought to you by Winn-Dixie and these fine products.
The Budweiser Concert Series at Blockbuster Pavilion presents John Tesh with the Charlotte Philharmonic Orchestra. July 4th, discount coupons available at Red Robin Restaurants. And the Allman Brothers Band, July 5th. Get your discount coupon at Rick Hendrick's City Chevrolet Geo when you test drive a vehicle. And Budweiser presents Steely Dan, July 10th, and Styx and special guest Kansas, July 12th. Live at Blockbuster Pavilion. Tickets now at Ticketmaster or charge by phone. Brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
It's time to count down to savings with zero down at your Carolina Jeep and Eagle dealer. Right now, lease Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo for zero down at $339 a month. Or lease Cherokee Sport for zero down at $259 a month. And check out the all-new Jeep Wrangler. Come see the selection and climb aboard the Jeep experience for zero down at your Carolina Jeep and Eagle dealer. But hurry, because time is running out. Lease a Jeep with zero down only at your Carolina Jeep and Eagle dealer.
going on?
It's the Ford guys. They're starting that Great American Sales event again.
Oh, no. They're marking everything down. Taurus, F-150s.
It's going to be a long month.
Come into your Carolina Ford dealer and drive Ford Windstar for only $249 a month. Or get $1,000 cash back on the safest rated minivan.
Remember last year? We had 3 customers all month.
Yeah, and one of them was my mother.
$249 a month on Windstar or $1,000 cash back. See your Carolina Ford dealer today.
Oh, the kids are always glued to the TV at dinner time because that's when all the cool stuff's on. But lately, rounding them up hasn't been that much of a struggle. Maybe they're starting to understand the concept of family time. Or maybe there's just nothing good on.
You take care of the distractions. We'll cook. The Boston Market Feast. Your choice of entree, any 3 large sides, cornbread, and a whole apple pie. Starting at $15.99.
Don't mess with dinner.
All new Mazda MPV, the only sport utility van for those who play more than video games. V6, ABS, dual airbags, 4-wheel drive. MPV. Lease one from $299 a month, 0 down. MPV.
When you need to know the Carolinas weather, dial 570-1000.
Partly sunny skies today. It will be very
Another helpful service provided by News Channel 3.
Where will cruisers be allowed to cruise? The latest tonight at 11.
Hello, I'm Miller Redfield, coming to you with an exclusive interview. With me today is the new Burrito Buddy from Burrito City. Buenos dias, Miller. I'm sorry, Burrito Buddy, I don't speak Spanish. I do, however, speak tasty Mexican food, which brings me to my first question. What makes you so Mexilicious?
Oh, sorry, amigo, but that's a south of the border secret.
Come on, Burrito Buddy, just between you and me?
Well, it's the cheese. Here, try this.
Okay. Burrito Buddy, you really are Mexilicious. This has been Miller Redfield with a special report.
Come in and say hola to the new Burrito Buddy. 99 cents all week long at Burrito City.
I don't believe it. He did a commercial.
I didn't authorize this. Who authorized this? You know, people are going to think I authorized this. I did not authorize this.
This is scandalous. The man is a journalist. Journalists don't interview food. It's just not done.
It certainly isn't. Well, sure, I interviewed Mr. Peanut once, but that was for a serious news story.
And what about the fact that he took a bite out of that guy? Doesn't anyone find that disturbing? Well, sure, you know, I know the guy is playing a burrito, but he is still a guy.
That's great. Now I have to go tell Lansing. Burrito City's giving me severe intestinal cramping, and I've never even eaten there.
So do you think Murphy's seen it yet?
This time, I'm not. I'll kill him.
She's seen it.
No question.
Said the word Mexilicious. This time Miller's gone too far. Yeah, hi, it's Murphy. I want to talk to Stan. Yeah, I'll hold. This time I'm gonna make sure Miller's Mexi butt gets Mexi booted.
As well it should be. In the end, all we journalists have is our credibility. How is the public supposed to trust us? If one moment we're informing them of welfare reductions, the next moment we're hawking TVs, satellite dishes, antacids, and long-distance carriers. It's prostitution under another name, I tell you.
Why is taking Stan so long? Oh, forget it. I'm just gonna go up to his office.
Where are you going, Murphy? We got a crisis on our hands.
Yes, Stan.
That lunatic. People are supposed to eat tacos, not talk to them.
Actually, Stan, it was a burrito.
Is that right?
Yeah, you see, a burrito is made out of a soft flour tortilla, whereas a taco...
Who cares? One of my news people took a bite out of a guy.
Stan, really talking my office?
I am too furious to stand out here and talk. Let's go to your office. People biting people. What are we, the cannibal broadcasting system?
It's about Miller. I demand that you take him off.
Murphy, don't try to defend him. That toe-headed dandy went too far this time.
Stan, if I were you, I'd fire him.
Good idea. But I can't. Thanks to my numbskull nephew, Andrew, Front and Center is part of the entertainment division, not the news division. And people in the entertainment division can do commercials, as we all know from Loretta Swit's delightfully informative advertisement for Gonalotramin.
Forget about commercials. Why don't you just fire him because he stinks?
Would that I could. But no, Murphy. We're just going to have to wait till that Nimrod screws something up that I can fire him for. Or we just hope that he improves.
Miller isn't going to improve. He's an idiot. Oh, sure, maybe if he really, really applies himself, he can work his way up to moron. Come on, Stan, forget it. Miller is never going to change.
Never going to change. Where have I heard those words before? It was said during a dinner at the White House when a certain blonde reporter got so drunk she started lobbing dinner rolls at Isaac Stern because he wouldn't play the theme song from The Odd Couple. But then she checked herself into the Betty Ford Center, and she changed. Don't you think Miller deserves that change?
It's hardly the same thing.
Dun 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 dun.
All right. But this would be the last chance, right?
Murphy, if you just give me 2 weeks, and then if you don't feel he's changed, I guarantee you I'll find a way to get rid of him.
You know what, Stan? I've got a better idea. Why don't we fire him now? That way we could start the healing process 2 weeks early. All right, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Jim!
Hello, Stan.
That Miller is killing me. All right, if a man wants to talk to a burrito in the privacy of his own home, fine. But on national television, you know, that kid could use some guidance.
Yes, let's hope he gets it.
Oh, I've made miss the days when Eric Severide used to walk these halls?
Eric Severide?
He was so generous with his time, helping the young reporters. In fact, Eric Severide gave you a few pointers, didn't he?
He did more than that. He shaped my entire career.
Well, what you're saying is you wouldn't be half the newsman you are today if it wasn't for the wise tutelage of a man like Eric Severide.
You'd do anything to keep Miller's huge ratings, wouldn't you, Stan?
I'd sell my mother if I could remember what home I put her in. It was Happy Valley, Sunny Valley. I remember there were a lot of ramps. You understand what I'm saying, Jim? What do you think? Would you help Miller?
I'm sorry, Stan, but I think Miller is incapable of change.
Incapable of change.